Hello, my name is Fiona, and I'm a certified teacher and a Praxis coach with Study.com. Are you preparing to take the Praxis Early Childhood Education Exam 5025? These questions are sample questions from the Social Studies category and specifically cover identity, social, and emotional development. Let's review some of the types of questions you may encounter on the exam. Let's get started. Problem number 1. Sophie, a 4-year-old in preschool, seems hesitant to join group activities and often plays alone. Which of the following strategies would most effectively encourage her to engage with her peers? So let's look at what the question is asking. We've got a shy 4-year-old, and she prefers playing alone and is too shy to join group activities. How does the teacher encourage her to join in group activities? So let's look at the answers that are possible. Assigning a classroom buddy to introduce her to group games and activities. Frequently remind her of classroom rules during playtime. Provide individual tasks that she can complete without peer interaction. And encourage her to observe group activities from a distance until she feels ready to join. I think before we even look at any theory, we can cross out, eliminate B and C. Reminding her of classroom rules or allowing her to stay by herself they don't help reach the objective that the teacher has. So we can take those out. So we're left with 2, A and D. Now let's look at a little bit about how to help raise confidence in a shy child. To help children learn how to be confident in group activities, provide and encourage them with opportunities to work first in pairs, then in small groups, and finally large groups. Children who are hesitant to participate in group activities need to become more comfortable with smaller groups before joining larger groups. To pair a shy or reluctant youngster with an outgoing buddy, a child who will be warm and welcoming can help to encourage a child like Sophie to engage with her classmates. So that gives us clearly the answer A as the correct answer here. But let's look at D. Encouraging her to observe group activities from a distance until she feels ready to join. From reading some of the theory here, we can tell that we start slowly with pairs, with at least one other student, and then gradually increase the numbers. Watching from a distance is not part of that, and while it seems like it might be a good idea, I think that would continue to isolate her. So the best answer here is assigning a classroom buddy. Problem number 2. A second grade teacher wants to show her students how different community institutions, like schools, libraries, and community centers, contribute to shaping their sense of self and community belonging. Which of the following activities would be most appropriate to help students understand the role these institutions play in their lives? So the teacher is looking for ways to show her students that institutions like schools, libraries, community centers, how they help shape their own persons and their part in the community. So which activities will promote that idea? Let's go through each of them. Organizing a Community Helpers Week where students learn about various roles within their community, such as librarians, firefighters, and teachers, and how these people help shape a safe and educated community. So far, that seems to hit all of the points the teacher is trying to make. So this looks to be, even before we've read anything else, a very good answer. Let's look at the others. Asking students to summarize a book about a community institution. This is second grade. Summarizing a book about a community institution, I'm not sure that helps to achieve the goal. Having students keep a journal of their weekend activities to track how often they visit community institutions. Not necessarily a bad idea, but it's not one that's done as a group. There's no collaboration. It's an individual activity. And I think A is better. D, setting up a mock shopping center in the classroom for students to role play as consumers, emphasizing the importance of consumerism in forming individual identity. So let's look at this one. I think there's nothing about consumerism and promoting it in the goals the teacher has. And forming individual identity is the opposite of how the students fit within their community. So this is not the correct answer. Now let's look at some ideas of how to encourage children to connect with their local community. This can have a positive effect on the community and in their own lives, including their mental and physical well-beings. Some ways to do that. Visit retirement or assisted living facilities where children can engage with the elderly with crafts or story time. Organizing a toy swap within the community. Visiting the local recreation and or community centers. Visiting the fire station and meeting with the firefighters. Consider asking parents to visit local shops and stores with their children where they can meet and interact with the employees working there. So those are the people working in their community. So these are some ideas, and A is the best answer here. Problem number 3. Which of the following best demonstrates an understanding of interpersonal relationships, particularly the norms of social behavior? So we're looking to teach about interpersonal relationships and the norms of social behavior. Before we look at the answers, let's look at some strategies. So strategies for helping students develop their interpersonal skills. Creating a classroom that is positive and inclusive. Encouraging kindness in their communication with others, including role-playing exercises with different scenarios that teach empathy, promoting constructive ideas for conflict resolution, and providing opportunities where students can work together. Now let's look at the answers and see what best fits in with these strategies we've looked at. A, focusing on academic content without addressing social dynamics within the classroom. So without addressing social dynamics does not meet the brief, and that cannot be the correct answer. Implementing a reward system based on individual achievement in the classroom. Again, individual achievement is not about interpersonal relationships, so that's not going to be the correct answer. I'm going to skip to D, overlooking conflicts between students to allow them to resolve issues independently. And while we want students to be able to resolve their issues within their own groups, we cannot overlook conflicts. So that is not the correct answer. Finally, we have incorporating group activities that encourage communication among students. That works with all of the strategies that we discussed to help students develop their interpersonal skills. So C is the correct answer. Problem number 4. During a group activity in a preschool, one of the children, Emily, begins to cry because she cannot get her turn with the toy she wants. The teacher wants to use this situation to teach the children about managing feelings and waiting for their turn. Which of the following strategies would be most effective for Emily and her peers to learn about emotional regulation? So the teacher wants to teach about managing feelings, about turn taking, and about emotional regulation. Let's look at some strategies to teach turn taking to help students learn that skill. During playtime, seek out opportunities to structure sharing and turn taking. So before it becomes an issue in the classroom or on the playground, find opportunities to teach it. Teach diversion methods. Give the waiting child a small diversion, such as counting, holding another toy, singing the ABCs. Use timers. Set a timer for 2 or 3 minutes, and when it goes off, the other child gets their turn. Also, we can remind them, 1 more minute, then it's Emily's turn. During story time, have students take turns helping with page turning or other little tasks. Do not give in to tantrums. All right, let's look at the answers. Telling a story about a character who never has to wait for their turn to make Emily feel better about the situation. That is not teaching to manage feelings or how to take turns. Ignoring Emily's crying to discourage attention-seeking behavior and continue with the activity as planned. Again, we're not teaching or learning about managing feelings and emotional regulation. So B is not the correct answer. Giving Emily the toy immediately to stop her from crying and to keep the peace in the classroom. Well, some other child is going to be unhappy in that situation, so I'm not sure how it will keep the peace. And giving in is one of the things we're not going to do. So C is not the correct answer. Finally, we have encouraging Emily to express why she's upset and then discussing with the group the concept of taking turns and patience. That is teaching about managing the students' feelings, about turn taking, and helping Emily and her peers learn about emotional regulation. So D is definitely the correct answer. I certainly hope I was able to answer your questions so that you now have a better understanding of the topics you can expect to find on the test. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel so that with Study.com's help, you will feel confident and prepared on exam day. Bye for now.